one or two actually, but I sat on two.
Always mention
recently.
Eminem every episode.
No, 'cause
I agree with you on this one.
Yeah, but I was
Mo's obsessed.
Low-key.
You are Stan.
okay. Sorry, I should have brought you sooner.
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 66 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with your boys Peter,
Yo.
Mohammed,
Yo.
myself, Yemi. Episode 66. Here we are. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, man. Blessed and highly favored, bro. How are you?
All of that as well. Mohammed, yourself?
Hey, my God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good.
Good.
There we
He's
go, there we
good.
go.
Yes, very good. How's your week been?
Yeah, bro. It's been a weird week, man.
Yeah.
It's been a very weird week, man. Emotionally, psychologically. Yeah, it's been up and down. But we're here.
Yeah. More or less the same with me, to be honest. For reasons we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah. Here, alive, prospering
Yeah,
as
man.
much as we can. What about you, Mo?
I think we've all had the same week, kind of physically, mentally, with everything that's been going on. I don't think any of us are different here
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
for
terms of
real.
where we've mentally been this week with what Yemi's going to get into.
Yeah, for real. I mean, even outside of what we're going to get into, like, the world is on fire
I'm telling you, man.
with Russia and Ukraine and all that stuff. It's just mad. Like,
I'm really feeling that too. Like I've noticed, like I feel like just generally, I have a lot of empathy in general, but I'm really feeling it though. I feel like the Ukrainians and that.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. It's a mad situation. Like, and Russia is just the worst like country to try to go to war with, because
Yeah.
they will just match you for everything and don't even care about how many people they lose, how many weapons they lose, anything. They are very raggo with it. And
Yeah.
Putin is just a monster. But thoughts and prayers of everyone in Ukraine. Yeah, hopefully there's a resolution
Yeah.
in some
man.
way, shape, or form. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether you're listening on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. What else are we on? Amazon
Apple Podcast.
and Apple Podcasts as well. And especially to the YouTube viewers. Obviously, if you don't know, we've started dropping visuals for certain segments of the episodes that we've been doing, last two. Thank you to everyone that's watched. Please like the videos if you can. Helps us grow and all that good stuff. And yeah, we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to start today with a somber note, because there was a death in the UK that hit a lot of the music scene very, very hard. So on Sunday, Jamal Edwards, the founder of SBTV, music and media entrepreneur, DJ, philanthropist, sadly passed away at the age of 31 after a sudden illness. He was DJing the night before and passed away the following Sunday morning. And we all found out Sunday night. And yeah, it's a very mad one. Jamal Edwards, as I said, the founder of SBTV, which is a platform essentially just showcasing freestyles, directed videos for all of like our legends, basically. Like, he directed videos for Skepta and Gigs. You know, he did the F64, which is essentially like a famous freestyle series that gave us people like Ed Sheeran and, you know, Jessie J and Dave and Stormzy. Anyone who was anyone on the come up in the UK went through the doors of SBTV to kind of showcase their talent. And Jamal made that all possible with a camera that his mum got him, like a camcorder he got when he was 15. It's a major, major loss for the scene. Pretty much everyone has paid their tributes and paid their respects to Jamal. A massive, massive loss, and he'll be missed. How do you guys feel about it?
It's when I first heard the news, it's a tricky one because it's so sad. But when you're a pioneer at 31, you need to appreciate him for what he was. I don't think people understand, to be a pioneer at such a young age, for you to be essentially you're the reason why we've got so many artists. It's such a loss, especially at such a young age. The amount of stuff he could have gone on to do, but we got to appreciate what he's done as well now. We've got to look, he's a pioneer. He's one of the GOATs. He has to be Mount Rushmore, arguably, for what he's done for the state of UK hip-hop, UK rap. and the culture just in general for what he's given us, from the S64s, from the freestyle videos, from the behind the scenes, from the Ed Sheerans. He's a staple, not in just UK hip hop, not in just UK rap, just in UK music, UK essentially what anyone that's come from here, he is a staple in. Ed Sheeran is arguably the biggest artist in the last decade, and that came from Jamal Edwards. Forget rap. Ed Sheeran is arguably, he saw that Wembley 10 times in a row, some stupid shit like that, and that's all come off the back of Jamal Edwards. We gotta give him his respect, man. Honestly, praise up for his family, praise up for his friends. Now we lost one of the goats.
Yeah, prayers up, man. I don't even know if I've got enough words to do what he means to our culture justice, man. I think when I got the notification first, and then Yemi had messaged the group chat, but when I got the notification, I didn't read it properly. Maybe I was doing something, so I didn't even register that it was Jamal. And then I saw the message in the group chat, and I was just like, what? And I just was online, and then I was just seeing how people were reacting and stuff, and then I just pushed my phone away and I was just sitting with it, and then I just started crying. I don't know why. I've never met him before, but I felt it, man. I just really felt it, man. 31 is so young. And then I started thinking about, I guess, just how integral SBTV was for me in my teenage years specifically, man, because when I think back to when I had like the highlights in my mind of those years, especially around like music and that, on the UK side of things, like he provided the platform that essentially led to the soundtrack to a lot of my teenage years. So it was just like raw. And then I started thinking about his family and stuff, and and just all the different people that he had affected as well. So it's a difficult one, man. Like it's a major loss, man. Like I don't think I've got enough words to do justice just what he means to our culture. You could arguably say that without him, our scene, the majority of the scene don't exist, and the scene's completely different. Because a lot of the artists now that ended up becoming big were because they came from his platform. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot, man. I don't know if we've experienced as big of a loss as this within our scene. I don't think so. I think in America we've witnessed a lot. You hear though? Nah. So this feels, I don't even know how it feels. It just feels, I don't know, bro.
I think it's like you said, from what without him, we wouldn't have the GRMs, the link-up TVs. The scene will still be 10, 15 years behind without SBTV. I don't think people grasp just that amount he's given us. Like, I don't know where the scene would be. Like, this ain't even just for show. Like, I don't know where the scene would be without Jamal Edwards. Like, there was nothing we had. I didn't use the office. There was only Westwood that we used to rush home to. He gave us so many. I remember sitting down watching the Carla's one and thinking, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And then sitting through, there was so many, the Skepta, the Frisco ones, where he would make you run home and sit home and just sit back with your friends. And like, it's a movie. Like, this is literally 15, 16, 17, 18. Going up to 29 years old, we still watch SBTV. We've been watching SBTV. They still drop stuff on SBTV. So it's like, even the branch offs, the link-up TVs we wouldn't have had, the exclusive Dave's had, the GRM dailies, arguably the Fire in the Booths. There's so much stuff that wouldn't have come, potentially, if we didn't have SBTV and Jamal Edwards' influence.
Yeah, you guys have just summarized it perfectly. I remember interviewing him once, and he was just the nicest, warmest guy. He had a lot of time for everybody. He was always so giving and loving, and the scene feels this loss. He's left a massive void because, like you say, he's the reason why a lot of people are here. Not just rappers and artists, but whole companies and whole brands and whole platforms. They're thriving off the back of what Jamal was doing at the age of 15, 16, 17, going up and down the country, recording artists, rapping outside of their states, and, kind of just launching a lot of careers and launching a lot of dreams. And for that, he is just immortal in that respect. Like every corner of the scene you go, he's touched, and that influence is never going to be forgotten. So, yeah, prayers up to his family, to his mum as well. Shout out to everyone that's been to the mural as well, his mural in Acton where he grew up. There was a massive vigil for him where his mum sang. Strong woman, man. The fact that she was able to go out there and just encourage others to just kind of love each other and stop all the negativity, knowing what's happened to her and the loss she's had, it's just mad, man. Very, very mad. And so respectable. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Jamal Edwards, man.
Rest in peace.
You won't be forgotten.
This is the first time I'm actually even talking about it. Someone asked me about it yesterday, and I was like to him that I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't have words. And then I was at school today, and one of my colleagues mentioned it to me as well. And I said to her that, same thing I said to the other person. I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm still kind of processing it. It's a lot. And I've never met the guy. I've never had a personal relationship with nothing, but I don't know why. I feel it, man. I really feel it. But yeah, man, prayers up for his family.
Prayers up to his family.
May he rest in peace. May he rest in power.
Mm-hmm.
His influence will never ever be lost or forgotten, man. And
100%.
We keep going.
He's a goat, man.
100%.
What's some of your favourite F-64s?
The first one that came to mind was Bashi's.
Oh, when he was doing the play on
was
words.
it the Drake flow or the Big Sean flow?
I think it was Big Sean.
Yeah.
And he was just doing the play on words.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Kick at something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that just popped to my mind.
You know which one I always remember?
Which one?
English Frank.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember English Frank one? English Frank.
That was a moment.
That was
man.
English Frank. It was a moment.
That was a moment.
English Frank's one was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
A Carla's one felt like a moment.
Terminators
was a moment. Terminator was a moment himself.
Yeah, he's a moment himself. The Skeptic Gigs Lookout video.
Oh yeah, is that when all of them were freestyling as well outside, innit?
Yeah.
When he had when his face was half white.
There's a lot. There is a lot of moments. And
man.
yeah, man. All by one man. But, rest up Jamal. All right, guys. Start with you, Mo. What have you been listening to this week, bro?
I've been listening to Kanye a lot because I was reviewing his last 3 albums. So I sat on Kanye a lot this week. The fall off is horrendous, but that's another conversation for another day. No, it's actually really bad when we sit on Kanye West's first 5 albums.
Please, oh, okay. Fair.
And we go to what he is today.
He's a different man today.
No, honestly, he fell off like Leeds, but I don't even want to be that guy. Because the first 5 is a classic, undeniable. Then he gave me Yeezus, yuck.
Hold your mouth.
And then I don't want to carry on going further, but yuck. So I just wanted to relive the greatness that was Kanye off the back of his Netflix documentary and just remember why he's a genius.
What's interesting about Mo's take on Yeezus here, and I've deeped it, all the hood man, none of the hood man like Yeezus.
See, we're not doing this.
But all the other men that are more eclectic and just have like an appreciation for like proper musicianship and that, they fuck with it.
The hood man only like one thing, innit?
What's that?
And then they get used to it and they don't want
How?
any change.
What's My Dark Twisted Fantasy was a whole nother thing from Graduation.
Yeah, but that's still more hip hop.
That's more in line.
Audience,
That's more
this
in
is
line.
these lot putting me in a box. Like,
You're putting yourself in the box,
in the
sir.
box.
because I think Yeezus is whack.
Not just
No,
that.
just because of what you generally like.
Well, I'm just saying, innit? The fall off was horrendous. I also listened to King's Disease as well. And
1 or 2.
2. And I wished Eminem stopped 16 bars earlier.
Bro, this is what I'm saying.
No, because you know what it was, Yemi? I was sitting on the way here. I was like, you know what? Let me not even hate. This guy's getting busy. And then it's always the last 16 when he's... And you're like, bro, if you cut it off there, this would have been your best verse in a decade.
I said this.
Yeah, no, I give you that.
All he needed to do was not do the double time.
As soon as he
finishes,
finishes the Nipsey bit, cut it off.
done.
You're good.
Yep.
And then you just went too far.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been sitting on King's Disease. 1 and 2 actually, but I sound
We always mention Eminem every episode.
No, because
I agree with you on this one.
Yeah, but I was
Mo's obsessed.
Low-key.
You are Stan.
okay. Sorry, I should have brought you sooner. Get out of here. But yeah, I've been listening to it was Kanye a lot. Like I actually sat through 808s. I sat through a lot Kanye this week actually.
I haven't watched the Netflix doc. Genius.
It's amazing so far.
Yeah.
I haven't sat through the second episode. The first was amazing. Like amazing. I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm waiting until it all comes
You're
out.
gonna-
And then
you-
I'm going to binge it.
You lot are gonna love it. Like the behind the scenes, the amount of footage they caught, the Mos Def and him, the Talibs, like epic.
I hear that. I mean, for me, it's kind of bittersweet it's gonna be bittersweet when I watch that, knowing what I know about how Kanye feels about conscious rap and that kind of cohort of conscious rap after the Drink Champs interview.
Did you believe him though?
I mean, have you ever seen? When was the last time you saw him with them, man?
He's with like Dave Chappelle and Mos Def quite a bit, man.
When was the last time you saw them?
When
I've seen
he
him with
was
Dave.
doing
Yeah,
Don the One.
I've seen Dave
I feel
Chappelle
like all
quite
of
a
them
few
man
times.
were there. They went to the stadium. I'm pretty sure.
I've
they
seen him
went
with
to the
Chappelle a
stadium.
few times.
Dave Chappelle and
I've
Mos
seen him
Def at
with
the
Chappelle
very
a few
least.
times.
I know
I've
he
seen
doesn't.
Bay goes missing
I
something.
know he doesn't really mess with Talib anymore, but Mos Def.
He's always going to be around.
I don't know, man. I think
he was just saying that, man.
I don't
His
think
favorite
there's any
rapper
scope
was,
for that.
but to be fair to him, his favorite rapper was Mace.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, but it's more so just kind of you kind of use that wave to kind of, you know what I'm saying?
To
He
get
kind of
probably because they were the only rappers that were accept him as well.
yeah, for real. But
you see it as well. The owner of Ruckus goes to him in the shot. I don't want to ruin it, but goes to him. This is more you than Roc-A-Fella, like straight up. He goes like, you don't belong in Roc-A-Fella because you belong here. But you see, when you see it, it gives you another like and then he's like, no, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
And then that's when they came out, gave him the chain. They done so far is great. I can't.
Yeah.
Lie. So far is great.
fair dues.
We missed that genius. But Peter, what you been listening to this week?
I've been listening to Mary J. Blige. She dropped an album called Good Morning Gorgeous. Fire. Absolutely fire. It's the first Mary J. Blige album I've listened to in years. And the reason I listened to it is because I heard a song with her and Anderson .Paak that I absolutely loved. So I thought, why not check out the rest of it? And yeah, it was absolutely fire, man. She did her thing on that. I like how she sounded very classic, but on contemporary like sounding music. So it was just really, really enjoyable. I've been listening to a producer called Ohbliv, and he had an instrumental tape called Foreverness. So I've just been listening to that on loop for like the last like few days.
Shout out Ohbliv.
And then there was a duo called Abhi and Dijon. Abhi being the producer, Dijon being the singer. They're not together anymore. Dijon's a solo singer now, but they had an EP out called the Montana EP. So I've been listening to that.
You love off
And that's it, really. Huh?
You love off Abhi and Dijon.
Oh, they're fire though, man. They were fire. I don't know why they split, but yeah.
I think the last Mary J album I sat on was
My Life.
My Life. Where she had 25-8. 25-8 bangs. And she had a song with Rick Ross on there.
Yo, that's mad.
Amazing.
That's the last Mary J. Blige album you listened to.
How many albums have you dropped since My Life 2?
Oh, she's like 10.
No, My Life 2.
Oh, My Life 2.
My
No,
Life
I didn't
2,
listen to
the
that.
one with Rick Ross in it, 25-8.
No, I didn't listen to
Oh,
My
not
Life
the
2.
first My Life.
I was about to say.
Nah, she made a My Life Part 2 in like 2014, I believe.
Okay.
And that's the last time I've sat on Mary J. Great album.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
never-
what you been
I've
listening to,
never heard
bro?
a Mary J album.
You never sat on Mary J?
I'm gonna fix that soon though.
Wait,
Not
wait,
because
wait, hold on. Sorry, that registered
yeah,
kinda
like-
late. You've never listened to a Mary J. Blige album?
No.
Never.
No.
You sat through the Lana Del Rey album?
Yeah.
I hate you.
What does that mean?
Actually, no. I mean,
No.
It's not. Do you know what? It's not that far-fetched that Yemi hasn't
no.
listened to it.
What does that mean, Mo?
You should have added Mary J to the monthly thing. That monthly list you done.
I mean, I'm gonna give him a list, so
I
I'll
think,
just
yeah,
include
the
that.
list, he's going to add to it.
Cool. Add to the list. There are some people you just miss sometimes, you know.
There
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
they're
no,
definitely
that's
there.
true though.
I've never sat on Prince.
No Prince albums.
Never sat on Prince a day in my life.
But look here,
Why are you saying it so like proudly though?
I'm not. I've just never sat on Prince. Sorry.
I don't know if that's something you should say aloud.
I mean, it's here.
Where?
It's in the air. It's in the
So wait,
ether.
Yem, you've never listened to My Life?
Nope.
Damn.
All right, Farouk.
What have you listened? What have you been listening to though, Yemi?
I've been listening to, so in addition to the daily month listen to a classic album exercise I've been doing over the last month and carrying on the rap front, I've been listening to, because we're recording on a Friday and obviously new stuff dropped today, I've been listening to Central C's new tape 23, which is a really good digestible drill mixtape, but Central C is also kind of taking it away from drill sometimes, which is appreciated. Central C kind of just came out of nowhere as far as his popularity. He's easily like one of the most popular UK rappers in the scene right now. Over the last year, he's just like ballooned. His streams are mad, his views are mad, and all that stuff. So, you know, he's got a big future, and he's got the good music to boot.
Is he
as
a
well.
plant?
He's independent,
Yeah, cool.
in inverted commas. But I don't know how far that goes. But he claims independence. So, not everyone that's successful is a plant, bro.
No, it's just the rise of Central C. I get it, but just
But
you
it's
know,
easy
it's
in
the rise of.
But it's easy in the internet age. It's so easy.
Bro,
for-
have you seen the views he gets?
Yeah, it's easy, bro. It's so easy. It's so easy for one song to catch viral fire, and then you just have a whole fan base.
Yeah,
that will just listen to everything. So shout out to Central C. I've also been listening to Nicholas Craven's new tape, Craven in 3. Banged that out today. Really, really good. The first 3 tracks I've been on a loop pretty much since. Craven, very, very dope. Fun fact about Craven, which is something that I think Peter will enjoy. He has a Spotify playlist called Drumless Loops.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
And then I realized that's probably what the genre is. That's what the genre is called, as to Peter's point in the last episode. It's not dusty, it's drumless loops. Apparently.
It's not
That
Dusty.
sounds way better than Dusty.
It does sound better than Dusty.
Does it?
It does.
I don't
Dusty
know. I don't
just
think it
sounds
does. Dusty is endearing. It's a term of endearment. It's like the N-word.
Bro, if like...
If I called you Dusty, would you take it as an
Do you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to music, it's endearing. If you're calling me Dusty, then yeah, I'll probably...
All right, fine.
You know what I mean? I'll probably take offense.
Right,
But
sweet.
I mean it solely from the endearing standpoint. But yeah, that's the fun fact about Craven. But a very dope tape.
Yeah.
And outside of rap, I've been listening to some classic stuff. I listened to Tracy Chapman's self-titled album, which is really good. That was another one of those albums that have escaped me and I've always wanted to listen to. Very dope. It's kind of like late 80s, kind of folky kind of stuff. And she's talking about some real stuff, real issues, racism, discrimination, injustice in the world. And I've also been listening to a rock group called King Crimson, their album In the Court of the Crimson King.
That's on my list as well. I've
It's
been wanting to get.
hard.
I've been wanting to get to that for years, but I
It's
just haven't.
hard. It's
Are
like
they
a very
Is
dope.
it new, old?
It's like 1969.
69.
69.
God bless their soul.
Yes. Very, very dope mix of like experimental jazz and like progressive rock. It's super dope. Takes you on a journey. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to. And my music writer exercise ends in a couple days' time.
Who's the last one?
The last one is Amy Winehouse, Frank,
So after you've done it this time, when's the next list?
next February.
Okay. So
It's
when
fine.
you do it next February, then I'll help with that list.
Yeah, if you want.
I will give each other the lists.
I mean, we can do it out before then. But
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that then.
We each give ourselves 30 albums.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that then.
Should be fun.
Should be. I can't wait to see what you get.
Yeah, whoever gets me is going to have fun with that one. He's going to have fun with that one. 'Cause
Can I make a list for both of you?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Go on then.
But I'm only getting a list from one of you. Yeah, I don't need Yemi to make me a list because like I'm pretty much onto a lot of Yemi's music anyway. But your I want yours though.
I want to give a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, that's between you and your Lord.
That's fine.
Sweet.
I'm willing to listen to it, man.
Are you?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, sweet.
All right, we're going to move on to the first topic of today.
Roc-A-Fella, yo.
And we are going to get into our fantasy booking bag once again.
Where Peter would have been signed to in the 90s.
Yeah, pretty much. It's basically an extension. This guy just threw up the Roc-A-Fella sign.
Yuck.
It's an extension of a series we started all the way back. I feel like it was like maybe like 10 episodes in,
It's the Rock.
called What If. Where we imagine the hip hop scene if a seismic event either did or didn't happen, basically. And today we're going to talk about Roc-A-Fella Records, as I'm sure you're aware now from all the shouting of Roc-A-Fella Records. Now, we all know Roc-A-Fella Records, one of the most legendary, celebrated, and important record labels in hip hop history. Home to heavyweights and icons such as Memphis Bleak, Emil, Tierra Marie,
I knew he was going here.
the Young Guns, Graf with an F, Christian with an O, and then you got lesser known artists like Cameron, Joel Santana, The Diplomats,
Some might call them.
Beanie Siegel, Freeway, Kanye West, and some brother called Jay-Z. Now, Roc-A-Fella Records.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, God, here we go.
You didn't include PD Crack. You didn't say Oskino and Sparks.
I mean, you're saying it now.
Do you know what I mean? You got to make sure you include everything.
No, I don't have to make sure I do anything.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Anyway, Roc-A-Fella provided the soundtracks for what was an unprecedented run at the top of the game. But the bitter breakup of the label in around 2004, 2005 is probably as infamous as the run of the label itself. But what if it didn't happen? What if Roc-A-Fella as an entity remained to this very day? And what would hip hop look like as a result? Boys, discuss. Any chance Peter had to mention Oshino as well? Who is Oshino, respectfully?
Oskino, man.
Whatever, man.
I think we should let the resident Roc-A-Fella member
Yeah, I'm
take lead on this.
respectfly, I'm taking a bit of a
And
back seat
we're
with this
gonna
one.
listen to what he will tell us about his record.
Yeah,
label.
because the Roc-A-Fella historian is right here.
Who do you think Peter was signed to? Bad Boys or Roc-A-Fella if he had a chance?
Bad boy for sure.
Bad Boys, isn't it?
Bad boy for sure.
Well, over Roc-A-Fella.
Who would you
Yes,
sign to?
100%.
Who would you sign to?
100%.
Just out of curiosity.
That shiny suit era was different.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, yuck.
See,
All
Roc-A-Fella.
about the Benjamins.
Yeah,
Come
All
on,
about
man. Come
people with the left
on.
hand.
I'd definitely be dancing them videos with Puff and Mace.
This is
fam.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, you would have been there.
I'm saying.
But I would have signed to the Rock later, though.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is a mad what if, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you think about in terms of like a family tree and all the artists that eventually came from Dame Dash, Jay-Z, not really so much Biggs, but you think about Kanye, you think about Cam, Diplomats, Joel Santana, Jim Jones, and State Property, Beanie Siegel and that. And then the bigger artists that Jay-Z eventually went on to sign when he was president of Def Jam. I kind of like amalgamate them all to one, and it's just Roc-A-Fella's a powerhouse at that point because they have Rihanna, they have Neo, you have Kanye doing what he then ends up doing as well.
Got cold.
Wait, are you counting all the people that Jay-Z signed to Def Jam as Roc-A-Fella?
I'm thinking about if Roc-A-Fella didn't split,
Okay.
and what would have happened.
Sure.
Because Kanye would have ended up doing what he was going to do. There was just no stopping that. Do you know what I mean? But I think Roc-A-Fella don't split, a lot of things happen. I think from the money that is generated from the artists already on the label, from, you know, the State Property and the Diplomats, and then Kanye doing what he eventually ends up doing, good music being born from Kanye, the artists that Kanye signed to that, they're all under Roc-A-Fella, if Roc-A-Fella still exists.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm correct, I think Jay-Z's the one that signed Rihanna to Def Jam. So if Roc-A-Fella don't split, I don't know if Rihanna's Def Jam. She might be Roc-A-Fella. Neo the same. Neo was signed to Def Jam.
Rick Ross as well, I think.
Rick Ross as well.
J. Cole as well.
J. Cole as well. All these people become Roc-A-Fella. So they all end up becoming platinum selling artists. So for how I look at it is that Roc-A-Fella maybe have generated enough income to become a distribution point. Where you've got like Universal that, you know, is distributor for a lot of these different labels. Roc-A-Fella could have become so big and successful that they became that. And labels, they start, I guess, distributing funds to labels coming from them. So essentially, like, a lot of things start coming via that Roc-A-Fella tree. And yeah,
Universal will probably still get a cut from that
you reckon?
because Roc-A-Fella was a subsidiary of Universal, right?
Okay.
And
Via Def Jam.
via Def Jam. And Def Jam, they had a quarter as well, right? The quarter water.
Yes.
Yes. So they had a quarter of Roc-A-Fella, and Universal had the other quarter, and then Roc-A-Fella was 50% by itself in that respect. So, to your point, they could have been like a hip hop Universal in that respect, where they are the people who are subsidizing or subsidiaring other labels, like a Dreamville or like a Maybach Music or, you know, all those kind of labels. And yeah, it would have been a conglomerate. It would have been a juggernaut in that respect. If they're not breaking up, I assume that all of the beef and all of the tension doesn't happen as well. With like with Dame and Jay and Cam and Jay and all that stuff.
And if that doesn't happen, we probably get more records with Jay and Cam.
With Jay and Cam. I took it the same way you did, but I just looked at who Roc Nation has. Kind of similar to how you did with, but I just didn't look at Def Jam. I specifically looked at Roc Nation because that's Jay-Z's one. And I didn't know how many people Jay-Z had signed under Roc Nation. Like, I had no idea. On top of just management, he's got the sports side of it, which I knew about. Then he's got the music side.
Sugar Babes.
Did he have Sugar Babes on there?
Lady Sovereign.
Well, I mean, we missed shots here and there. But it's a weird one because what they would have been if they stayed together, I think it would have been the biggest record label we've had.
But I don't think all of that happens though. If they
I
stay
think
together,
if they stay together, Jay-Z still signs It's just the way life would have gone.
I don't think so.
I think he's. What do you think? Jay-Z still would have been rapping 100 miles per hour? in
No,
2009?
I think he would. I think he retires earlier.
Yeah.
If Roc-A-Fella don't split.
And Kanye is still doing Kanye, like you said.
Yeah, but I don't think all the people that he's got at Roc Nation become Roc-A-Fella. But I do think some of the artists that he signed for Def Jam, he signs for Roc-A-Fella though.
Yeah, and he signed them to Roc Nation as well. I think he like the Coles. I think he still would have signed.
I think he would have signed Cole.
I think Kanye still would have signed the Big Sean's.
Yes, I believe that too.
I think he still would have had. I think he still would have got the Rihanna's.
I believe that.
I think Rick Ross would have come on him. Then off the back of that, you get MMG.
Jeezy too.
And
I think he was
Jeezy,
responsible for Jeezy.
and you still get MMG because of Rick Ross.
Yeah.
That's still all Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah.
That's an entity we've never. The amount of artists that come under one umbrella.
But even under MMG, artists like Meek, I don't think they signed to Ross though. I think because of the link between State Property and Philadelphia, Meek probably signs to State Property.
Not if they respectfully State Property.
Because at that point,
even if they stay together, respectfully.
Nah, you can't say that.
No,
bro.
let me just get my thing off. Respectfully. There's no one looking for State Property 2011. Whichever way you want to dice out.
Yeah,
Whether there was
2011.
No.
Respectfully.
Nah, that's you being disrespectful.
In
Let me
the
tell you-
air, I'm not.
No.
And I love BB.
That's disrespectful. Because, bro, the reason why their careers never really took off is because of the breakup.
I'm not taking it away from them. It's a it's
people's careers are different if that breakup doesn't happen. Beanie Siegel and Jay don't end up beefing. I think Beanie's career is a bit more stable and there's a bit more consistency there. And I think he's then rated greater than he actually is at the moment because there's no opportunity to really fall off. You've got the consistency of the people you came in with still backing you, and who you've got behind you becomes even bigger over time.
100%.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people's careers are different. Which also means that the quality in hip hop is a lot, and the standard is a lot higher as well. To be quite honest with you, I think it's similar to the argument that if Big and Pac were here, that there would have been a bit more quality control, and not every rapper would have been able to just get in the game. I think there's a similar sort of theme there if Roc-A-Fella don't break up, because if you look at the artists that they had, they were all extremely talented artists, all rappers that lyrically got busy, and at a point in time they were dictating a sound in rap, and they stayed together. The longevity of that stretches out even more so, which makes it harder for anybody not making a certain quality of rap to get into the game, especially if they're dictating it to the point where they are a distribution label.
No, I hear you. I just disagree in terms of.
I don't think they'll have that much power.
I disagree. I think I disagree in terms of relevance.
How much power does Jay have now?
Yeah, but he hasn't. I mean, the South are going to still do what they're doing as far as innovating sound in that respect. You're still going to have trap.
When did the South really start doing their thing?
I mean, you could say that. You could say Outkast.
I mean,
when the shift happened.
Yeah, like not Outkast era, like the more trap stuff.
I'll say 13.
I'd probably go further back.
Roc-A-Fella been done.
I'd probably go back further. Maybe like, when did T.I. first start saying trap? Like 04, right? Like 304?
Yeah, around them times.
But I don't think they had it then.
But the trap sound, I think, is different from the trap culture. The trap culture's been there for a while. But what we know as like trap music now probably doesn't exist until like the early 2010s. So I'd probably say 09, 2010 sort of thing, maybe.
Okay.
But I still think that would still be happening in conjunction with whatever Roc-A-Fella's doing.
But do you think, with all the artists that we've mentioned that could have potentially been Roc-A-Fella, and I guess how that may have dictated the culture, do you still think the South end up doing what they do? Because think about it. Because a lot of the artists that are rock at that point are East Coast based, right? 50 is coming in alongside that as well, which is bringing a bit more strength and muscle to the East. Do the South still have the run that they have? Which is probably a separate conversation.
I think they do.
I think they do, because it's all cycles. Like music goes in cycles. We're in a cycle now of trap music. No matter how dominant Roc-A-Fella may have been, there's always going to be that hunger for something new. And outside of New York, outside of the metropole, there are going to be rappers and there's going to be artists doing different things, trying different things, and that's gonna generate buzz, and that's going to become popular. It might not balloon Roc-A-Fella, but it's going to be popular in its own right. Might not have the same run, but I feel like it's still going to exist with Roc-A-Fella. And to the point of Roc Nation, I feel like Roc-A-Fella Roc Nation would be Roc-A-Fella.
That's what I think as well.
Roc Nation would be Roc-A-Fella. Because it would still extend to other sections of entertainment, sports, TV, all that good stuff. They're still going to do that.
Yeah, I think Roc-A-Fella becomes just what Roc Nation is now. It's just what would have happened in terms of the people staying together. No one's going to convince me state property would have mattered in 2011, regardless if they stayed together or not, respectfully.
Yeah, but you're saying that because you don't know nothing.
Oh, wow.
Of state property.
You don't know, you don't.
I don't. I've listened to state property. I definitely have listened to
Said the one
We're
fan
not
of Oshino.
Oskino, innit?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. But yeah, I just think they would have become Roc Nation just 100 times, I guess, stronger. Because if you do have... The biggest what if for me is if they would all stay together and the music we would have got. Because that is something we'll never know. Because that could have swayed where music was leaning towards.
That's what I'm saying.
But we don't...
That's exactly what I'm
But
saying.
I don't think it dominates.
I don't think
music
they're strong
that much to where in the present day, and it's still the Roc-A-Fella sound.
You man are saying that because like when them man were really hot, you man weren't tuned in like that.
I wasn't outside.
I mean, we were young,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I'm familiar with what was happening then. If you man were as in tune with like the Roc-A-Fella sound and like how hot they were, then I think you man would be saying it a bit differently.
So you think if they...
You have to understand that, like, do you remember when Cam Oh Boy was ringing off?
Yeah.
And you heard it absolutely everywhere. That's in the midst of the Roc-A-Fella era, bro.
Yeah, but as I said before, I feel like
Every J hit from like 99 to about mid 2000s is like the Roc-A-Fella era. And Jay was there wasn't a better artist out than Jay.
But that's
between
Jay.
that time.
But-
Yeah, but bro, like,
I'm talking about
do you know how?
state.
Huh?
I'm talking about state property.
Yeah, cool. But do you know that State Property also had hits in conjunction with what Jay was doing?
They had a few. They had one. They had
because
a
of what
few.
because of what he was doing.
No, and I hear you. They had a few. I just don't think they would have become a state. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had hits, but the same way they only had a few hits between 99 and... When did they split up? Just, yeah, roughly.
I think like 06, 07.
So between 99 and 06, everyone was on good behavior. How many hits did they give us?
There was some minor hits.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
That's why...
But the point I'm trying to make is that they were still the hottest in the
I hear
industry.
you, I hear you.
They were hottest in the
but all eras end. All eras end in that respect.
Yeah, but the era continues because of the people that then come along. Because when Kanye had come along, it was slowly
Changing.
Yeah, Dame and Jay weren't really seeing eye to eye towards the end, towards when Kanye really started to. Do you know what I mean? So had they stayed together, Kanye then is the bearer of the flag for the next step.
Okay, I see what
Do you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like the artists that were already there become better as well. Because a lot of them didn't even get to drop like solo music, really, like official albums, apart from like Beans and Freeway. And I just feel like them man become better because they have more of an opportunity because there's stability there.
So
And
essentially,
with what Beans and Freeway already gave us by that point was already, they had already given us classic albums.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
so essentially, every stage would be just a continuation of that Roc-A-Fella sound and era, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? If they stayed together, I'm just going to ask, do you feel like the South would have taken over? Or do you think it would have been prevented?
I don't know.
If you had to just guess,
I think it would have been
a tougher fight.
It would have been, yeah. It would have been a bit harder for the South to come true and like run shit.
Probably.
I do think that Roc-A-Fella staying together would have like dictated a lot of stuff within the genre. I really do.
Yeah, I hear that. I think, like I said, I think it would be in conjunction. They probably would be fighting it out, but the South is so like undeniable with the way it moves the music and moves culture, moves hip hop generally. It probably would have found a way to at least be on the precipice or like right there with the Roc-A-Fella sound. Even if the Roc-A-Fella sound or Roc-A-Fella as a label are continuing to grow and diversify and all that.
But can you imagine all of them on the stage, all on the same team? Yeah, I get what you mean. It would have been... Imagine you got Cole, the Meeks, the Rosses, the Jays, the Freeways, the Seagulls, all on...
Bro.
Like, you know how Roc-A-Fella used to do? Where they all give each other chains and...
The
all on
family,
one
it
team?
would be a mad
I
family
can't lie. If
tree,
they were
bro.
all on one and like on some... How Roc Nation do it sometimes. If Roc-A-Fella was still together and you've got all of these men on stage and he's got Rihanna there and we're all what... Yeah, it could...
Do you get what I'm saying?
It would have been a moment.
It'd be like-
That's what I'm trying to say.
It'd be like Jay's Pound Cake verse. Cole made millions.
Yeah.
Ree made Williams. Ashino made millions.
Beans will tell you if he wasn't in his feelings.
But he wouldn't be in his feelings
If
because
he-
he'd be
Oh,
thriving.
there we go.
Because he'd be thriving. He'd be thriving.
I
So,
don't know if Jay and Nas would have made up when they did too, if Roc-A-Fella stayed together. Because
You reckon?
they make up when Jay's kind of away from that situation. Jay's
on his
president
bullshit.
of Def Jam now. You know what I mean? He's in a different place and he wants to kind of align with Nas. I don't know if that happens.
But do you think they'd still be beefing?
Probably not, but I just don't think they would have like been buddy though. Not as soon as they were. I think it becomes drawn out a bit longer.
And we would have got more Dipset music.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
Would've
music
got
we
more
would have got
Dipset.
would have been crazy
Would have
too.
got Joel Santana would have been rapping instead of going.
His career probably ends up differently too.
No, his one I think is the biggest trajectory that would have changed. If we're talking about people that were already signed, I think if they stay together, his trajectory changes compared. Everyone else already had a stable career. I think Joel's himself single-handedly changes his whole career. If we're all still under the same umbrella.
Max B, Stack Bundles,
Max B,
a lot of artists
Max-
that
I didn't think about Max
didn't
B.
end up thriving because of not as necessarily as a result of the split, but just because of many different situations. But I just think the stability of having a fully functioning powerhouse machine, it makes it hard for talented artists like them to not thrive, man.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Freaky Zeke got affected?
Who's Freaky Zeke?
He was a member of Dipset.
Oh yeah, we've had this conversation. Freaky Zeke. He probably would have made millions too.
But yeah, do you reckon he got affected?
Don't ask me that, man. Do you think Jay Electronica becomes Roc-A-Fella via Just Blaze?
If they're still all together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he became Rock Nation.
And he probably drops his album a lot sooner too. Because
You reckon?
yeah, because by that point, I don't think Roc-A-Fella will be pushing him to drop a single. I think they allow him just to do his art.
Because that's Dame Dash. There'll be Dame Dash on. Do you know what I mean? It changes a lot. Because with Rock Nation, it's Jay-Z.
And he's
But
an
with-
artist.
Exactly. And he's an artist and he can lay back. But Dame Dash was the one that was putting pressure on people.
Well, if Dame had his way,
Everything would have changed. Everything.
yeah. I mean, if Dame had his way, Cameron would be president, right?
I don't think that happens though. Because
Well,
that
now we're in
only
our bag.
started to happen when him and Jay-Z weren't seeing eye to eye. That further caused a bit of tension there. But I don't think that happens. If they're all him, Jay and Biggs are on the same page, that don't happen.
And then you get more Jay and Cam.
Yeah, because there's not really much tension there. But there was probably a little bit of funniness there anyway before that. But I think if it's like solids, then I don't think there's that. We just get more records, man.
So you feel like Jay-Z would fully get in his like executive bag?
I think he would have retired a lot sooner.
You think he'll still be rapping today?
No.
So is it a good thing that they split up?
It happened the way it was supposed to happen, innit? But I think about the music we would have got, man. Like Beans produced, like Kanye produced Beans albums.
There was a lot left on
Even
the
the
table.
crossovers. Like even the crossovers we would have got.
There was a lot left on the table.
Yeah.
The Beans and the Meeks.
Like more
Yeah,
freeway
what?
records with Just Blaze and more freeway records with Ye and flipping. Who else was there, man? Like fucking Young Chris might have had an album out. PD Crap might have dropped something.
He's gonna say next
Do you
Hurricane
know what I
Chris.
mean?
Might as well say Hurricane Chris, man.
Young Chris,
You might
bro.
as well Hurricane Chris the thing. Hey,
Young
baby.
Chris,
You
brother.
might as well Hurricane Chris the whole set.
Young Chris.
But nah, what could have come from it? If you imagine Kanye West production and you got Meek and Beanie rapping over it.
Sounds nice.
Unless he shouts.
Which you probably would. If we're talking about early Meek.
Early Meek.
Early Meek shouting over Kanye beats. Yeah, I'm probably glad that didn't happen, to be fair.
Oh, we could have got so much.
Yeah.
If Roc-A-Fella stayed together, the cross branding that could have happened,
Well, to,
it would have been ridiculous.
well, to that point, in you guys' opinion, like, what is Rockefeller's greatest legacy?
Jay-Z.
Jay, Kanye, the Diplomats,
State property.
State Property too, purely because of them going up to Hot 97 and doing the freestyle session and going at, the Locks and Mobb Deep. Because they were like the precursor to Jay really going at Mobb Deep and Nas and that. So I think they just brought an energy. State Property just brought an energy to Roc-A-Fella,
That was
which in
deep.
turn brought a certain energy to like rap as well. It's difficult to define what the legacy is, man, but just the great artists that came from it is the legacy. We got Ye.
And then the artist they birthed. It's never going to end.
Because even though Ye was talented in his own right, I think we receive him differently if he's not aligned with Roc-A-Fella, man.
If he goes Raucous Records.
Because they had a certain clout, and the talent is talent, but there's just something to someone that's extraordinarily talented, and then having someone like a Jay-Z, even though Jay-Z wasn't really fucking with his raps, it's still something to that. Someone like that standing next to you.
For sure. I think Kanye's an alien though, in a sense, because no matter what he would have done, whether it would have been on Roc-A-Fella or not, he would have found a way to bust through.
But does he become Kanye?
I believe he does, because it's still his vision.
I think.
I think God willed that.
I think he'll become Kanye. I just don't know if he'll become.
But when you
Kanye,
deep it,
it's like you said, when you've got that arm around you.
But also when you deep it though, like College Dropout and the whole process of him joining Roc-A-Fella, cool. After that, how much of a role does Roc-A-Fella really play in Kanye's career?
It's a good question.
And that speaks more to Kanye. And
So you don't think that the beats that he was giving out to artists on the rock contribute to his growing reputation and status?
100%. But
There you go.
He says that in the documentary. He shows how.
Then there's that.
Shows how.
there's that. But
Because there's a certain level of clout that even as talented as we now see that he is, there is still a certain level of clout that comes with producing for Cam, producing for Beans early, before you eventually get to like the heavyweights, the heavyweights. And Cam was a heavyweight, but there's still something to that though.
no, there's definitely 100% there is. But I still think he would have bust through regardless. Like he was giving beats to the hottest rappers at the time, which obviously helped, and they were all on Roc-A-Fella, which is obviously great. But it's Ye, and Ye always finds a way.
But without Roc-A-Fella, does he get them beats to them guys? We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, listen, he was doing beats for the Mad Rapper, so why not?
It's actually.
Yemi.
I'm just saying. If you're doing beats for the Mad Rapper, you're going places, bro.
He was ghost producing for the Mad Rapper too.
There you go.
There you go.
Putting in work from day.
Yeah.
I still don't think he becomes Kanye though.
I think he does.
I think that cosign, the giving Jay-Z Izzo, all of that, it just played out perfectly.
Do you think the artists the family tree that we've kind of stipulated on here, and the artists that eventually we could have maybe seen on Roc-A-Fella, do you think they end up becoming what they are today, like the J. Coles, and the Rick Rosses? Do you think so?
Yeah, because I think. How can I put it?
Wait, you think Ye doesn't become Ye, but you think Cole becomes Cole?
No, I don't. I said if Cole's not signed to them, I don't think he is.
Okay.
If Cole is signed to them, I think he is. Same with Ye. I think Ye, that Roc-A-Fella Cole sign, I think made us listen to Ye a bit different as well. Just knowing he was around them.
Yeah, that definitely helped.
And I think him giving, because we knew Ye as a producer way before his music. Well, not way before, but he was popping as a producer. So I think because of who he gave those songs to as well, like you said, I think giving Hov certain songs and these man certain songs, it changed to me. Boy, without them, the whole landscape changed both ways, with or without them. If they stay together, the landscape of hip hop might not be south right now. And I think that's a very legit argument that it won't be because of how strong the East still would have had.
I hear that. Well, shout out to Jay, Dame, Biggs,
Freaky Zeke,
Oshkino. Finally got it right.
Tierra Marie.
Your impact will not be forgotten.
Shout out to Memphis Bleak.
Shout out to Memphis Bleak. Shout out Source Money too.
Can I just
know he's not on Roc-A-Fella, but why not?
It was Jay-Z's fault why Memphis Bleak never became a dope rapper, by the way.
We'll chop that out at a later date.
Definitely it's his fault.
All right, guys, we're going to move on now to the second topic of today. Old head alert. The views of the old heads in this room, well, today it's going to be Mo, are not reflective of mine or maybe even Peter's views, but we'll soon find that out. Mo had a query about, taking it to the UK, Mo had a query about the UK rap scene, and he has a theory about the quality of music coming out of the UK rap scene. Mo, would you like to expand?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to be professional.
Professional?
Yeah, I'm just going to give everyone a heads up. I'm going to try to be a bit professional about this because I don't know if I can say what I really want to say. But I've had an epiphany. Since 2019, UK music has been meaty at its best. And this is what I mean by this. Any rapper that's come through from 2018 onwards to me has been, I don't know if I'm an old head or if it's average, but I feel like we've passed, I don't want to say a peak, but I feel like this thing actually, do you remember when rap in America, UK hip hop, just hip hop in general, went through a couple of years of a drought? It was like famine. Went through a few years where it was just wet, like Flow Rider was popping, and we just had a few years where it was just meaty music.
Young
Dro, Hurricane Chris, all of that nonsense.
Hey baby.
Hey baby, Jay Quan, like we're just going through a lot of meaty process.
Chingy.
I feel like Chingy. I feel like that's what we're living through now. And when I say that, I feel like when you go back to the resurgence to me of UK music, the 2013s to 2014s, when the Stormzy's came out, the Daves came out, the Fredos came out, the J Husses came out, even the producers like J5 and the Still Bangles came out. I feel like we're missing that. And I don't know if it's because of COVID, I don't know what it is. I just feel like the last few years, the energy we had for UK music where we were saying, I remember I used to say it freely to Yemi, and we used to say early on the podcast, I feel like I was making better music than America for a long, long time. I still feel like we are. But the ones that are making better music are the ones that were making better music 8 years ago.
Like who?
Like the Gets, the Daves from like 5-6 years ago, the Sims who's been around for such a long time, the Skeptors. There's people that.
So it's not the newer artists.
It's not the newer artists. Whereas in 2015, it was everyone was new.
Can I ask you man a question?
Do you get what I mean? Let's go.
How integral to this conversation is drill music?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you feel like the fact that drill music is so popular is having an effect on UK rap as well, as far as everybody trying to do one type of sound and not seeing much variation in musicianship and just...
Before we answer that question, I want to ask Mo what your idea or what your definition of quality is with regards to this conversation, because there are a lot of new age rappers out here who, to some people, are making quality music and to some people aren't.
Like?
Well, I mentioned Central C. Tion Wayne makes good music.
Okay.
A lot of the drillers make good music, if you're willing to listen.
No, I'm willing to listen. It's just when something sounds meaty, and I feel like it's like you guys said, when everyone, I feel like in 2015, 2014, we had a resurgence where there were so many different artists rapping different ways, rapping over different things. There wasn't a straight one line like this is where we're all following. Whereas now you get that with drill. So maybe it's just we don't have the variety that we had years ago. But I do feel like we are going through a bit of a problem in the UK music right now, where the next talents, I don't think, are going to carry... Well, I can't say they're not going to carry on their back, but the wave that we had in 15, 13, 14, we are looking for that right now. There's no way people can't tell me they're not looking for at least some sort of new wave of artists.
And I think it's quite interesting that Mo is the person saying this, because if I was to say that mainstream UK rap scene is lacking any form of variation, any form of artistic greatness, great albums, we're devoid of classic albums, classic singles, and great music, you man would be calling me an old head. So I think it's wild that this is coming from Mohammed, but you man are going to let Mohammed get away with this and not call him a whole head. But let me say this shit.
I literally said old head alert.
But may I speak?
Go on, talk.
The difference between Mohammed and Peter is... Yemi, does Peter even give the 2015 artists their respect?
Does he even care to listen to any of these artists?
Do you know what I'm saying? You don't even give the 2015 man
he says respect. All that. He said all that with his chest as well.
Like he don't cut off at 05 and that's it.
And he knows he doesn't listen to any
but
of
I
these
still
rappers.
hear stuff though. And I'm able to then say, you know what?
And just to clarify,
we're talking about in the scene.
We're talking about mainstream UK rap,
yeah,
right?
just mainstream.
Because if you look underground, you're gonna find
underground
variety.
is wonderful, as it always is.
We're just talking mainstream right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, you don't even see the 2015 resurgence. That's where we disagree.
At all.
I see the resurgence, and I see the resurgence now done resurging.
You think it's done resurging? No, because I feel like we're still in the early stage of the UK scene. Yes, there was a grime resurgence in 2014, 2015, but the UK scene as a whole is still young. We're going through phases right now.
I feel like we was on fire at one point.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we are anymore. And I feel like we was legit on fire at
so
one point.
So what do you want to see? What would make you feel like, yeah, we're still making quality, and our scene is still making better music than America?
I just don't
What,
wanna-
what does it look like to you?
To me, we don't keep... When I'll be happy is when we stop relying on the same ones that we had.
Well, like Stormzy, Dave.
And I feel like it's not fair because they're still young in their art. So I don't want to, with all due respect, they're still very young. So, but I know what to expect from. When I first heard Dave, when I first heard the Fredos, when I first heard whoever, even the producers, it was new to my ears. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, hang on a minute, this is, yo, these don't sound ridiculous. They're young, they're rapping. I haven't got that feel from a new artist in the mainstream for a couple of years now.
I mean, I think that's in line with similar sort of argument with America as well. After the Drakes and the Coles and the Kendricks and the Nickys and that generation, we haven't really... I don't think I've seen like the superstars that are going to take it on for that next gen. You have... I don't know if I count Travis as the generation that came after that. I don't think so. But you haven't really seen that. So I think it's kind of... Here is kind of in line with that, except...
Oh, what was it after?
Yeah. And it sounds like Mo's looking for the next superstars here.
We've got superstars here, though. Central C is going to be a superstar.
Is he a superstar now?
He's not a superstar now, but he's only been around for like a year or so.
Does his music back up his superstardom?
Depends on who you're asking.
I'm asking you.
Can we like also like we have to understand hotness as well, and it's very temporary.
Here we go.
No, that's the truth though. But we have to understand that. We have to put that into context. Just because someone's extremely hot now, does that mean they're going to have the same longevity and the same sort of greatness that someone like a Dave has?
Dave doesn't have that much longevity. He's only
Forget that. I'm talking about the greatness.
the greatness.
That's music, though.
It just depends on the music. I think with Central C and mainstream rappers, the thing with mainstream rappers is, especially when they're dropping like projects and they're dropping music sort of thing, there's an element always, whether you're Stormzy, whether you're Dave, whether you're Central C, whoever, of keeping up with what is hot and, you know, feeding that, whilst also getting into your kind of more artistic bag. If you're talking about the superstars that are just artistic in every way, shape or form, a la a Dave, you might be searching a little bit more for that compared to someone like a Central C who is coming into the game, came on this drill wave, and he's slowly but surely exploring other sounds. You know what I mean? He's being more artistically, he's like exploring a lot more, being vulnerable, you know, stuff like that. So you kind of give these people more time to grow and you see where they go. He's definitely hot, and I do feel like he is going to be around for a while because he's very focused in this thing. And people like Tion as well, like they're in it for the long haul. They're going to be mainstays. Whether they're going to be reaching the levels of a Stormzy of Dave, in your guys' opinion, is still out there for debate, to be fair.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Here we go.
A lot of the music I hear these days, it just doesn't have the sound of longevity to me, man. I just can't, I can't imagine myself listening to a lot of it 5 years from now. There's not many artists here that I can see really doing that, man.
I think some.
I just can't.
Well, again,
maybe it's the sound. Maybe it's the sound.
But they're
maybe,
all young as well.
Huh?
They're all mad young.
Cool, but just based on the music that I can only judge them based on the music they're making now. I don't know what music they're going to end up making, but based on the music a lot of them are making now, I just can't see myself in 5 years saying, yo, I want to listen to that real quick.
Well, that's why I'm reserving judgment, because they're so young and they're in early stage of their careers to where they might not be making the same music that they're making now in 5 years' time. They could be reaching those other levels of like what you guys deem to be quality music. Maybe. You never know.
There's something about the trap sound and the drill sounds that just doesn't feel like longevity, man. It really feels of the time. Because when I think about a lot of the music that I consider to hold that longevity, it just sounds different, man. There's just way more musicianship to it. And I don't know, man. I don't really hear it like that.
Does grime have much longevity for you?
Or is it timeless is the question you should be asking.
Answer your question then.
Probably not. I probably have to be feeling nostalgic to really listen to P's and Q's.
I hear that.
So probably not, no.
I hear that. And the thing with grime is it's kind of just stayed in the same place. It hasn't really developed. And anybody who was grime is doing UK rap or, you know, dipping into drill these days as well to kind of stay, not all the way stay relevant, but to explore a new thing, whereas grime as a sound generally is kind of just we're having a debate now still whether grime is dead sort of thing.
Yeah. To me, it's just UK rap in general. I just feel like there was a period where there was just so many people coming out. I know I could repeat it, whether it was Mo Stack, the Lotto Boys, Crypto Conan. It was just new people coming from every which avenue with heaters, with bangers. I feel like right now it's stagnant. Yeah, you got Central C, you got Tion Wayne, and then you got RD, and then you got H. But bar maybe a couple like the Tions and it. Yeah, I don't think if you're looking at the quality we had that was coming out back then compared to the quality now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think
someone like Mo Stack was ridiculously high, but if you bring out Mo Stack today, he's going clear compared to these man just because of competition.
Yeah, I suppose, but I don't want to think of the rap scene as kind of like this conveyor belt of like a certain type of artist that's getting turned out every like year or so to meet your standards sort of thing.
Yeah. 100%.
There's going to be peaks and troughs. There's going to be, highs and lows to your taste sort of thing. It's not every couple years you're going to get another superstar cast a la a Dave, Stormzy, Huss every 2 years.
It's been 6 years now.
Well, I mean, again, it just depends on who you're checking out for. Like, Tion has been in the game for a long ass time. He's now one of the premier rappers in the game. And that's just from being around and adapting to what's going on. If you listen to have you listened to his last album?
I like Tion.
It's not just drill. He's making popular music, popular drill music, but he's still a road rapper. He's still a UK rapper in that respect as well. He's still very much in that mode. So I feel like with the game, it's a thing of for me anyways, reserving judgment and seeing where it goes. Because here's the thing, even if we're still relying on the Daves, the Stormzys, the Husses, and legends like Gets and Kanos to drop quality work. I mean, they should be. Like, they've been in the game long enough. They should be improving every time, sort of thing. And that they're contributing to what makes the scene great as a whole. But if you're talking about new mainstream rappers, we're in an age now where they're gonna try and make stuff that's more accessible and popular that might not necessarily be conducive to quality, in your opinion.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem, man. Too many artists are coming out and just making music of the time and just diluting the genre and our culture. We need more artists that are striving for timelessness. We need more artists that are striving to really, really be established as artists, not someone just quickly trying to make peas off, what's in at the moment. We need more Simses. We need more Daves and that. Those artists are not making music of the time. They're real artists, and we need more of that. And until we see more of that, then the scene's just going to keep being diluted, in my humble opinion.
I think we're going through our old 7th phase in America.
To be fair, a lot of these artists...
I don't want to be fair.
You're clearly not. To be fair to a lot of these artists, especially when it comes to like drill and kind of more like popular sounds currently, they use that as an in to the game. It might not always be the end point for them to just be a drill rapper. Heady One, for instance, he came in on the drill thing. He did a tape with Fred Again, who's like an electronic music producer. No drill, kind of more like housey, or a more derogative term, unce. And people hated it. But that's Heady One exploring his artistry more.
Yeah.
He's trying to do new things. He's trying to have longevity. I think there's a case with a lot of these rappers that come through of using a sound as a kind of gateway to then exploring other aspects of your artistry, especially as you get older. A lot of them are still coming into the game 19, 20, 21. They don't know who they are as artists. Sims didn't know who she was as an artist compared to, obviously she was making similar type of music throughout her career, but she wasn't a finished article. They never are. So it's a thing of you got to let them
give them time.
No, but
you got to give them time, man.
Some of them were solid to me. Like Heady's solid to me, but I just feel like it's just a lack of artists today. I don't count Heady as today. I'm just talking about people that I feel like I've heard of Heady for a while. I'm just talking about people that I feel like are new. I don't feel like I'm not being moved.
And that's fine. That's because they're not making music that moves you, right? But you're not really moved by that kind of popular stuff anyway, generally.
But I just feel like even when it was popular back then, there was still popular music we were still a staple. The music was still music somewhat. Whoever was popping back then, music was still music.
I just think at the time, it was more to your taste. And this time, it's not to your taste. I think it's just a matter of case.
Yeah, because it's gone meaty.
Yeah, in your opinion.
Yeah.
And it's only your opinion. Because you could ask the next man and they could say, we're having a great time a la 2014, 2015, 2016. It's just down to your ear and what you think is good, basically. Like, I'm going to keep saying his name, Central C, he makes good music. It might not necessarily be to the level of, well, I mean, whether he makes better music than Fredo is up for debate. I mean, Fredo is not the best, but he's part of that tree, right? That tree, right? So it just depends on who you're asking, man. But I think with a lot of them, I don't think it's a case of the UK rap scene having peaked. I think it's just in a period now where a lot of artists are making music that's not to your taste.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's peaked. I wouldn't go.
No,
that far.
I don't think it's peaked.
Nah.
I just feel like we're just right now on a. I just feel right now, yeah, we're on a bit of a downer. It's gonna go back up. It's just the nature of music. I just feel like right now, we was at a peak and we've gone down now. Put it that way. I feel like we can always come back, but I just feel like we're on a down season. Like when we come back one year, I scored only 16 goals. Next year, I scored 20 plus. So it's like you can do that.
Well, we'll see, innit?
That's a great analogy, to be fair.
We need to be honest with you.
We'll
Like I love UK music. So it's just
Me too.
But you're always gonna what?
I do. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was a great pause.
New UK
Yeah,
music.
that was
Alright,
great.
fine.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was great.
I do like new
Oh, you-
artists.
name 5.
Mainstream,
Like-
mainstream.
Give me 5 that you like.
Nux. That's my guy.
That's not mainstream, bro.
That's not mainstream. Give me 5 you like mainstream.
Mainstream.
Just 5.
J Huss.
1.
You didn't even like him before, to be fair.
Dave.
I'll never let you
He looked down
live
on
that
us. He
down.
looked
I'll
down
never
on
let
us.
you live that
I
down.
looked how I
still.
didn't like him.
You looked
I just
down on
was
me and-
late. I was
you-
late.
You didn't like it. Okay.
I like Tion.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Tion. I like a couple of his tunes. That's it.
Yeah, man. Listen, there's bare people, even if they're not new, they are still kind of new because they're still so young.
Yeah.
Hedy is still relatively new. Little Sims, even though she shouldn't have won Best New Artist at the Brits, won Best New Artist. You know what I'm saying? So the best is still yet to come, I feel.
Yeah. I just don't count.
And I feel, and to that point also, I feel like people like Nux and people like who are just on the precipice of kind of mainstream getting more buzz, they're then going to come through and then we won't be having this discussion.
Yeah. And when they do, then we'll have this conversation.
Yeah.
Again.
And then the
Or
old heads,
not.
yeah. And then the old heads in the room will rejoice that real hip hop is back.
Oh, piss off, man.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. You literally only need to say real hip hop and you have confirmed.
I've never said that.
Exactly. All you need to do is say that to confirm your old head status.
Listen, Jiggy Brothers don't say real hip hop, man.
Cheeky brothers don't say real hip hop.
That's the hey man.
All right. Well, that was a great discussion. Shout out to all the UK rappers making it mainstream and making it live. We just gotta wait and see, man. But we are going to end it there. So thank you very much for listening. Guys, you got any shout outs you want to make before we head out?
Nah.
No?
No?
Big up God.
All the time.
Big up God. Shout out to you guys, the listeners. I'm always going to shout out the listeners. Follow us on all the socials. Continue to tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow us on TikTok. We're out here TikToking. We will see you, or you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks' time.
It's the Roc.
Gosh. Until then, take care, stay safe, and peace.
I had to end it that way, Yemi. You know I had to.